What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You're on a special episode of Chiefs Focus Live. Got JP, got Justin, and we got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Christian Okoye on the
Oh
show.
yeah.
What's up, my man?
How you doing, man?
Living this hot life out here in Vegas still.
There you go.
Are you?
That's what you chose.
You know what? I chose it. I chose it when it was nice to live here. It's not like that no more, man. I mean, it's just not. It's not. Vegas ain't what it used to be. So ain't gonna be here much longer. But how you doing? You back in California? You back home now?
Yes, I'm home now. Yes.
That's good, man. That's good. This is Justin. He's been dying to meet you, man. So
Yeah, I've been ready for this. I've been excited. So happy to finally have you on.
Nice to meet you, Justin.
Nice to meet you.
so what have you been doing, man? What have you been up to?
I've just been keeping busy, man. I have a couple of things that keep me busy these days since retiring. I'm the founder and the president of the California Sports Hall of Fame. So we work on that. We just had our induction on June 25th. So we had a golf tournament right after that on the 26th, and I have my foundation as well, the Christian Okoye Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
We do 2 events every year. December, we take a couple of hundred kids in Kansas City shopping for Christmas.
That's awesome.
And at the end of April every year, we do a fundraising for it.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, you were coaching some high school football, right?
I coached high school, Montclair High School here in California for 1 year. Yes.
Yeah. I remember you were doing that. I didn't know if you still did it, it's been a long time, but I didn't know if you were still doing it or
No.
no.
It's that's too much into it, man. If you want to go into coaching, that's what you can stick with it. But coaching is not my thing.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, I remember watching Marty and back in the day with you guys, and it was like, man, I don't know. Marty was a different guy, though. He had a different way of approaching things than everybody else did. So he was a little different, but easier guy to. He was meant to coach. Where I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do it or not. So what do you think of all this new NFL compared to when you played, man?
Well, football is different today than it was when we played. Even college, guys don't practice tackling anymore. They don't wear pads as much. So it makes it kind of difficult to get the feel of what defense should do. So it's offensive league right now. They just throw the ball everywhere. Running backs are not respected anymore. But they still need to run the ball, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So speaking of the NFL right now,
I was telling Justin that about watching the practices back in the day and sitting there and thinking, man, these guys, I never understood it. I asked Derek and a bunch of guys a few times, why the hell do you hate each other so much? You're in practice, man. You're on the same team, and it's like guys beating the hell out of each other with helmets. And I mean, man, what's going on, And I came from a baseball background, so it was a little different. And he said, well, we don't like each other during the week. It's only on Sundays. We're brothers right now. He said, that's just how it works. And I said, dang, man. I mean, but you're right. We talked about this. I mean, it's so different than what football used to be. I mean, it was smash mouth in practice. It was smash mouth all the time. It's not like that no more, man.
Sometimes games are easier than practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts on the NFL market for running backs now and how it's completely just falling apart? What are your thoughts on that?
I know they act like they don't need running backs anymore. It's crazy. And the teams that win are the ones that run the ball. I was just talking to, I was in Chicago, as you know, and I was talking to somebody. I told him, I said, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl, because they started to run the ball in the second half. If you remember, Patrick Mahomes only threw for 182 yards, and we still won. Philadelphia, they do very well because they run the ball, including the quarterback running the ball most of the time. So if you want to win, you have to run the ball some. I don't understand the reason why running backs are not respected today as they used to be respected in the past.
Yeah.
You know, they're having a hard time, signing the contract now.
You know, I've talked to so many people about that same thing, and from agents to coaches to just different people, and they all say that, running backs, because it used to be a running game. I mean, you played Marty ball. I mean, nobody ran the ball more than Marty in the NFL. But they got to be more versatile now because everybody wants to see the long bombs downfield. It's more of an entertainment thing than it is, and they don't see it. Perception to them is that running the ball is just running the ball. That's kind of how they look at it. But they don't realize that those are the guys that get beat up the most. You know it. You've been there.
Yeah.
But, it's weird. They want them to be more versatile to where they can come out of the backfield, catch a pass, kind of like the Jerick McKinnon type of situation. They just, I don't know. It's weird. It's just, he's following, Goodell's following that money trail. Which I can't blame the guy to a certain extent. I mean, he sees
I don't think it's the commissioner's fault. It's just the way the game.
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's just following the way it goes. He knows what people want. And
if they want Tua to stay healthy throughout the year, they need to get him a couple of guys that will run the ball.
Man, you ain't lying.
Because if defenses know that you're going to throw the ball, they're going to come after you. And they were coming after his butt,
You say what you want on this show, man. We're on YouTube. You say whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. So, they were coming after his ass and they were getting him. So, if they want to keep him healthy, they need to get him a running back. They need to run the ball, maybe 1/3 of the time. Give him a break some, It's not very good scrambling like Mahomes. Mahomes, if you see, we run the ball when we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we can all agree that, even the offense that throws the most out of the league, a good running back, which is just as important because it opens up passing opportunities. You just have to have the split.
You got to have that combination. And then also with Tua, like you said, he needs somebody that can block for him as well. Running backs aren't just running the ball; they're blockers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Offensive line can only block so much. When defensive line know that you're going to pass the ball every down, gosh, man, that's some pressure on your offensive line.
Yeah, it is.
Do some play pass and give them a break. Give the quarterback a break. But if you study Tom Brady, all those years he won Super Bowls, he went to Super Bowls while he was playing for New England. They ran the ball. Every year they may have different running backs, but they were running the ball.
Yeah, and they had a top 5 defense.
That's right.
That helped a whole lot when you got
when you run the ball, it helps the defense.
Absolutely. Absolutely, gives them a break.
That's right.
It gives those guys a break, and they, fresh legs are better than rubber. And hell, I'm telling you, Justin, I remember the first day I saw him run out on the field. I was sitting on the bench next to Derek, and I said, "Who the hell is that guy?" And he goes, "That's Christian Okoye." I said, "You're full of shit." And he goes, "No, that really is him." And I said, "Man, that ain't the dude that ran like the 4.53." And he goes, "It absolutely is." And I said, "Full of shit."
4.44. That's my best time in the 40.
What was it?
4.44.
Damn, man. Yeah, that's crazy shit right there. For the guy, he came out, dude. He had this before Armor All was, Under Armour was a thing. He had this shirt on, and I said, "Guy looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger." And he goes, "I know." I said, "There's no way he ran that fast." And he said, "Wait until he takes off." And he did. He just took off running. And I went, "Oh my God." And Derek said, "I told you." And I said, "Holy shit, bro." I said, "Man, that dude's going to be scary." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He's going to be scary." And I said, "Oh my God." I was like, he scared me, and I was sitting down. I didn't even play. I was just sitting on a bench, and I'm like, "Oh shit, man, I don't want to get hit by this dude." I don't even want to go near when he's hitting somebody. But People don't realize what a nice guy he is, though. He's different. He's a different person. You're a different person off the field than you were on the field. And you're actually that same person on the field sometimes. People don't realize that either. Because I got to witness it firsthand, so I was lucky. But you were a big old teddy bear in a lot of ways. People don't know that, but you were. I mean, you were. You had the compassion, and where a lot of people didn't have compassion.
Well,
Especially when you hurt somebody, and you actually felt bad when you hurt them. And
well, I just concentrate on playing football. I mean, everything after that is just being human.
yeah, yeah. That was the good part about watching you play because there's a lot of guys out there that enjoyed they would run you over and then step on your hand, they kick you in the head, they do all kinds of stuff, and then you'd help a guy up.
No need for
I'm
that.
telling you, yeah. That day he ran JJ over in practice. That scared the shit out of me. I'm gonna tell you what, I'll never forget it. And it's like those cartoons where you see somebody get run over, then they're pushed down in the ground. That's what he looked like, and I'm thinking, shit. And I ran over there, and JJ spread out. Oh man, I'll never forget that day, man. I mean, it scared me a little bit. I thought, oh shit, he's dead because JJ's so little, man. I mean, I figured he was done for. I figured he ain't playing.
No, but JJ is tough, though.
Yeah,
he is tough. He's a tough dude, man.
It's kind of come full circle because we had JJ on the show a few months ago, and he talked about getting ran over by you. So now we get to kind of see both sides of it.
Yeah.
JJ comes on about twice a year, and
okay.
Every time he comes on, we talk about old times because we spent so much time together back then. But we've had Tim on, we've had a bunch of guys on, and
okay.
Been waiting for you. Been waiting for you to get your time free so we can get you on here. But
yeah,
you see all this stuff that's going on with the running backs right now. Like the Josh Jacobs and everybody that's just pissed, and I don't blame them. I mean, you're at the top of your game. You're in your prime. You see all these other guys getting paid ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to give you, anywhere to, it could be $3 million, it could be $4 million, a year, whatever the case may be. But you're the one taking most of the punishment, especially if you're on a running team, a team that runs more, like San Francisco. They're a running football team.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, they're a running football team. But these guys, Jacobs left Vegas. My buddy told him pound sand, and he got on a plane within like 20 minutes and was gone. And he wasn't coming back. I mean, and he hasn't been back. So I don't know what their plans are with him, but the only thing they can really do is rescind his franchise tag, that's what they did. They franchise tagged him for $10 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you wouldn't have complained about $10 million back in the day, but times are different.
Today, yes, I wouldn't have complained about it, but today, if you look at quarterbacks making $60 million a year,
yeah, man,
and receivers making $30 million a year, and receivers, by the way, sometimes they catch the ball 2 balls in a game.
Yeah,
2 balls, maybe 3,
and they don't get beat up like running backs do.
Yeah, we get beat up
out of bounds
every single play.
Yep.
So I don't understand it. I mean, Jacobs and Barkley, I mean, those 2 guys, they held out, but Barkley is back with the team, and he didn't get what he wanted, but he's back playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it either. I kind of wondered why he held out, and then he accepted $900,000 to come back. Like the $900,000 addition, and a lot of that's incentive money. I don't know what he really gained from doing that, but
he came back he's thinking about just playing 1 year, and that's a risk because I think they offered him something before they tagged him. They offered him a long term, but it wasn't enough. I can't remember what the figure.
I think it was like $7 million or something. I think it was $7 million a year or something like that.
Yeah, he was looking for 14.
Yeah,
but then franchise is 10.4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. He's a great back. he catches the ball from the back of the field, and is the same running back as Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I just don't understand what's going on. If it wasn't for Barkley, they wouldn't have made playoffs last year.
Hell no, they wouldn't have. I've said that so many times on this show. I swear to God,
Yeah.
he carried that team, that entire team on his back. And then his quarterback, which blows my mind, his quarterback gets that contract. And I'm thinking, okay, this dude does not deserve that kind of money. I mean, Derek Carr took less of a contract his entire career.
Yeah,
And then they go and give Daniel Jones that kind of money. That's insane. I mean, that's insane money to give somebody that really isn't that. I'm not going to say, look, man, anybody that makes the NFL is good.
Mhm.
You have to be to make the NFL or any pro sport. But there's levels to how good you are. And
I know.
he's not that top tier money. I don't know, man.
They paid him crazy money, but
Yep.
that's sometimes in the NFL it's who you like, who you know. Sometimes if they like you, they take care of you. If they don't like you, then they treat you like a stepchild.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously times have changed, and I mean, we see different scenarios, and it's all depending on, I mean, different variants and stuff within the team. But knowing what you know after your career, how would you go about the market today if you were a running back in like Saquon's shoes, or like, would you play a year contract or wait for an extension, or what's your move there?
Well, I mean, I'll probably do what they were doing. What they're doing. I remember my last contract, I held out, and I didn't attend the training camp, and finally I signed my contract, a new contract, and I showed up like right before the season started. You see, so you have to fight for what you're worth, and I think that's what they are doing, Jacobs and Barkley.
Yeah. And was it Jonathan Taylor? I think he wants to be traded. Which I mean, look, man, if I had an owner like Ezra, I'd want to be traded too. No offense, but that he's not all there. I'm sorry, but the things he said are outlandish to me.
Who said Taylor?
Jim Ezra, the owner of the Colts, when he talked when Taylor asked for that trade. I mean, you got to be professional about stuff, and he wasn't professional about it at all.
I think he reacted in anger.
Yeah.
I mean, if he, I don't know. He reacted in anger and just said what he said, but that's no excuse.
No.
He has to understand that Jonathan Taylor has got family. He's trying to take care of himself, and he's trying to get what it's worth. You listen to him and tell him no, you can't, or maybe play this year and we'll talk about it next year. I promise you, we'll take it for you, or whatever. But coming out and saying what he said. I mean, that's no excuse for that.
None whatsoever. But you got coaches that are doing the same thing. I mean, look what Sean Payton just said. I mean, look, you can say what you want about Nathaniel Hackett. If you remember, who was, his dad was with us back in the day, Paul Hackett. Yeah. So you can say what you want about him, and he may not have been the best coach in the world, but again, you got a quarterback that's been in the league long enough that, see, he got in his contract his own office, his own masseuse, his own chef, his own training staff, his everything else. You're going to tell me he didn't get his own audibles? Because he could. If you can't read the field after 13 years or 11 years or however long it's been, and you're supposed to be the guy that cooks on the field, I don't know how you didn't get that in your contract. But Sean Payton, he made himself look stupid with that comment. I mean, he pissed a lot of people off. He had a lot of coaches mad, a lot of GMs mad. I mean, players that are pissed.
You mean like what he said about the coach that left, the former coach?
Yeah, what he said about Nathaniel Hackett. Yep.
No, that's no reason for that.
No.
That's no reason for that. But I remember when he first signed with the Broncos, and they asked him about Russell's private staff. He says, no, we got coaches over here. And I support him on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Me too.
And you cannot bring your own people when I'm the head coach. No. If you want to deal with them in the off season, not during the season. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with you, man. I don't know. He's got that Jay-Z and Beyonce mindset. Him and Sierra, and they're nowhere near them two. So, uh,
Well,
but
you have to understand, sometimes people feel entitled, I mean, when you have a position of power, some people don't know how to tame themselves sometimes.
yeah,
I mean, if you go around the league, you respect a lot of people who tame themselves very, very well, who treat people, Belichick, Andy Reid, those guys are from old school coaching then, and Andy Reid is just players love him. They love
yeah,
him. They love to play for him. He just let them have fun. You
Mm-hmm.
see, and he will never say anything bad about any player that play for him. He loves his play. He takes players as his own kid.
yep.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You don't put anybody down. If you don't like what somebody's doing, you can approach them and tell them, say, hey, you need to change this.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how Marty was. That's what I seen out of Marty. When you guys played for him, he was very good with his players.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I think about Carl Peterson because, I mean, look, man, uh, I think the guys that know me that were around that team know how I feel about him. But I think he crapped on a lot of players. JJ. I'm being serious, man. I mean, to me, the guy was a jackoff. I mean, I never did like him. And honestly, I remember one time, I think I told Justin this. My son was about 9 years old, and brought him to a game, and we were playing Chicago, I think it was, and we were in the locker room, and then we came back out, and we went upstairs, and Lynn was calling the game with Mitch Holtis, and my son was able to. He went in there and hung out with Lynn Dawson and a couple of guys, and he got to call some plays on the radio and stuff, and so I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, "Hey, this is JP's son. Why don't you come over and meet him?" And he said, "Oh, his words, oh fuck, I ain't got time for that shit." And he just, man, I mean, I come unglued. I was sideways, and I'm like, "Fuck this guy.
Now,
Who the
who said
hell does he
this?
think?" I was pissed, And Lynn goes, "It's okay. That's just how he is." And I said, "No, fuck. My son's 9 years old, man. He just wanted to meet the guy.
No, this
There was no
was
reason."
this was Carl Peterson that said that.
That was Carl Peterson. Yeah,
Wow.
and I never liked him after that. I honest to God, I thought the way he treated you guys was bad enough, and then to treat a 9-year-old kid that way, I was like, he set me down. And look, man, I never played football again, that, but I was around you guys enough to know what went on and how things worked, and that
Yeah.
just, to me, the way he treated a lot of players, like I said, he traded JJ off when, I mean, honestly, he had all the tangibles.
Yeah.
Didn't want to pay him,
Yeah, he did. He did. We didn't. I mean, we have great defense, great players. We just needed a few things added on so we can, win. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And the team, we were losing before I got there, and my first 2 years, we're losing seasons. And then Carl Peterson showed up, Marty showed up, and we started winning. Like I said, sometimes when you're in the position of power, you lose control. Some people lose control. Maybe that's what happened to him. I don't know. But he's been, since I've been retired now, I talk to Carl Peterson, and we're cordial and civil with each other. But I understand what you were talking about when we were there playing.
Different.
I remember
Different
when I was offensive player of the league, and I had a clause that never came to me.
Doesn't surprise me a bit with him.
Oh, so I wasn't happy about that, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yep. So, well, we kind of talked about your time in the league and stuff, but I mean, obviously you can go on Wikipedia, you can go online and look up, but I feel like I'm a big history guy when it comes to the football and everything. So when I have guys on, I like to kind of hear it from them. Just tell us a little bit about your story coming into the league and leading up to that's. I mean, your story is one of my favorites out of players. So I just kind of personally, how you come into the league, run me through that.
Well, when I was in Chicago, I was talking to a group of guys. They were asking me the same thing. How did
Mhm.
you get into the league? And I basically told them the same story I've been telling, all along, that I came to United States to go to school and run track, and my main reason, my main purpose was to go to '84 Olympics.
Mhm.
And I trained and I was ready to compete, but Nigeria left me off the list. So I was so disappointed
Mhm.
that I decided to play football. So in '84 was my first year playing. And when I walked into the football coach's office, I asked him, I said, I want to play football. And he asked me, what position do you want to play? I said, well, I don't know any position, but I saw on TV, I saw a guy that ran a long ways and scored a touchdown. He said, oh, yeah, that was Marcus Allen. Um, During the Super Bowl when they played the Redskins back then.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, what position was that? He said, running back. I said, well, that's what I want to play. That's how I became a running back.
That's
So
awesome.
I played 2 years at Azusa Pacific
Mhm.
University. I graduated, but I was advised to go back and play one more year and, for experience because I
Mhm.
was still eligible to play. And I went back and played 1 year. And then I was invited to the Senior Bowl. I went to Senior Bowl and did very well. I scored 4 touchdowns. And the Chiefs saw me, other teams saw me, and they keep coming back to find out about me. The Chiefs came back 4 times and eventually drafted me in the second round.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's how I
Awesome.
came to Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
So I
And we were
played.
glad you did, man. I tell you
Well,
that.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no kidding. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was, it was, it was art. After when you and I'll say this because it's, I mean, it was such a transition from college to the NFL. But when you got it down, oh my God! I mean, there was nobody who was going to stop you. I mean, I seen you hit people that, damn. I mean, just the sounds that came out of people. Not even the helmets. Justin, I'm telling you, it wasn't even the helmets. It was the noises that you never thought would come out of somebody's voice, or out of their mouth. And after they got hit,
Yeah.
I mean, when you worry about people that you don't even know or like, after he runs somebody over, it's like, damn, man, he put the hurt on that dude. But he opened up lanes. It was like it just shit just went like that because nobody wanted to get hit by him. And even in practice, I watch and people say, "Fuck that!" They just step out of the way because they didn't want to get hit by this man. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. Every time somebody get hit, I felt it, and it was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was awesome to watch you play, and you and Barry did a good job together, and you were a good 1-2 type of punch situation. Barry, I don't know. He was a really good back, but you had so much speed and so much power behind your run that I don't think anybody's ever matched it. I really
Hmm.
don't think not. Look, there's guys out there that are fast. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
nobody was fast and huge.
Yeah.
And you had both. I mean,
Derek Henry is close to there, and I
he's
tell you,
close, but he's not you. I'm
when
sorry,
I
but he's just not. I
when
mean,
I got into the league, you know, not playing football growing up, I had to study a lot of guys. I had to collect films of Earl Campbell, Jim Taylor, Jim Brown, Walter Payton, and of course Eric Dickerson is right here in Los Angeles, and Marcus Allen himself. All those guys I had to watch, and not the style in which they played with. I watched to learn about their demeanor, because I couldn't bring myself to being that violent. So I have to try to understand what they were thinking or feeling when they were playing. And I came to understand that, hey, the objective is to move the ball forward,
yeah,
by
yeah,
all means. When the ball is in your hand, by all means, move the ball forward. And
Mhm.
that's what I try to do every time I touch the ball.
Well, I'd say you did a pretty good job of that. you
Oh, he did.
you got that
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, when you was in, I remember one time he was in practice, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but they were handing the ball off to you, and it was like 3 or 4 times that he handed the ball off to you, and it was you were. I don't know if you were having a hard. I couldn't really see that well, but it looked like you were having a hard time tucking it, or maybe you're grasping the ball. I couldn't really remember, but you hit somebody after Marty told you what he wanted you to do, and you hit. It wasn't JJ; it was somebody else.
Mhm.
And after you hit him, you said, "I hate this fucking game," or "I hate this damn game." And I remember you saying that, and I thought, "Wow, he hates this game." But you said it more than once, and I thought,
Yeah, I never liked
"Damn,
football until I retired. I never
yeah,
liked the game. I only
yeah,
played it because I was making a good living and I was doing really well, So I just kept on playing because
yeah,
it's an opportunity that you can't give up. Even today when I speak to kids, I tell them, I say, sometimes you do something that you don't like, but it's a good fit for you and it benefits you and it can benefit people around you. So people from my old school, Azusa Pacific, they were so happy that I was playing the NFL. If I had quit, I would disappoint everybody. It's
yeah,
one of those things that this opportunity only comes to very few people.
yeah."
So and I had that. That's the only reason why I kept playing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be an attribute or to spit out an attribute, I guess, to your respect, I mean, you played basically 3 years of your life before you got into the NFL.
Yes.
And 3% of people that play from the age of 5 through college, 3% total, get into the NFL. So
Yeah.
you did something a lot of people don't do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have they just don't have it. You had that it factor that puts you in the game. And you guys started winning because of because of Marty's scheme, the way he approached the game.
Yeah.
And, bringing in Joe was a pretty good idea
Oh
too.
yeah.
It wasn't
Oh
a
yeah.
bad idea.
Big plus. Big
Yeah.
plus.
Big plus with
Yeah.
Joe there. So,
So,
but yeah, it was
so
cool. Go ahead, Justin.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you talked about. I mean, it was kind of a job for you more than anything. But I mean, obviously, you had your fair share of achievements and attributes throughout the league. What was your mindset for those? Like, were you still? I mean, most players they strive after this and everything, but then when you're just there to make money and it's kind of a job, what was your view on those once you were like earning them?
Well, I didn't even know when I made my first Pro Bowl. I didn't even know what it was. I wasn't looking to make the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Miami getting ready to play the Dolphins, and my teammates were telling me, "Oh man, you are first team All Pro. You're going to Hawaii." I'm like, "Wait a minute, what is that?" I wasn't even thinking that. So it's funny that you asked me that question because those are not the goals that I had or set for myself to achieve at all. I was just playing football, trying to improve and do the things that I was supposed to do. That's all, and everything just came together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I'm glad you had the time to jump on the show. It's nice seeing you again. It's been a long time, and hopefully you'll come back on again, man.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to say to everybody out there, if you don't want to know more about me, go to ChristianOkoye.com. You'll see me there. And also, I have a book coming out November 7th. And it's on pre-sale right now on Amazon. So when they go to Amazon and type in my name, it should come out.
Well, text me the link, and
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on my website.
So
That
we'll advertise
way
for it.
everybody can see it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
So I do got to
Definitely
ask
do
you
that.
one thing before we call this quits.
Okay.
Kansas City Goats. You're in on this. I've been kind of catching some interest. What's up with that?
Yeah, Kansas City Goats is a new arena league that we're starting, and I'm one of the owners in Kansas City. The Goats is the name of our team in Kansas City, and it's kind of ironic because I love goats. We eat a lot of goat in Nigeria, so and the name is Kansas City Goats. So it's in the works. It's in the works, but next year on 2024 is when we're going to start.
Awesome.
That's awesome, man.
I had to ask about it. I've been reading about it some more because I saw you were advertising for it and everything. So I've been kind of looking into it. I'm excited to have another team in Kansas City.
Well, thank you for bringing it up. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
What you
Christian.
got,
I know
Nate?
you're busy, man.
All
Yep.
right. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you. Great having you on.
Appreciate
right.
it, man. Thank you.
Okay. Bye
All right,
bye.
brother. Bye.
All right.
Nice seeing him again.
Yeah, that was cool.
I knew he had a short period of time
Uh-huh.
today, but it was nice that he was able to jump
Yeah.
on. He's been traveling, so
Hmm.
he does a lot of speaking and a lot of different things, and just a cool guy. I'm telling you, Justin, the shit that he did. I mean, it just. I honest to God, people made noises. It was like they were getting killed, and he did actually. He honestly felt bad. That was the
Yeah.
crazy part about it is he felt bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he did have compassion, and he did have and like he said, it took him a while to figure out that just moving the ball,
Mhm.
but shit, I mean,
There's still
when he hit somebody,
been no one
bro.
like him. Yeah.
No, I mean, you can bring up Derrick Henry, and he did, and I'm glad he shows him
Mhm.
the props, but Derrick Henry, he's not no Christian. I mean,
No.
he's just Christian. He kind of beat himself up a little bit. Well, he didn't do it so much as the team did it. They utilized him more than probably any running back I've ever seen,
Yeah.
simply because of his size and the speed. He
Mhm.
was just so damn good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but just like I said, just to hear the sounds that came out of people when they got hit, and then to watch, I swear it's like watching the Red Sea part, bro. When they saw him, when they knew it was a hand, they were handing the ball off to him. People just defensive players just did this shit, and I'm like, these motherfuckers actually play football. There was only one guy that actually went after him, and he tried for a few years to get to Christian. A few years, and I didn't bring him up purposely because that gets him angry, and I don't blame him. But there's one player that got him. He's just texting me, and that was Steve Atwater, and he caught him on his blind side. He wasn't paying. It was one game he didn't pay attention to that dude. Out of all the years he played against him, and he caught him good, and pissed Christian off. He was mad about that. He's still mad to this day, man. He's mad about that. So I don't even bring him up when we talk because it's just why you want to get hung up on. You know what I mean? You don't want somebody to hang up on you because you bring up somebody's name. But yeah, it was cool to watch him do the things he did and to learn the game. That was the coolest part, to watch him learn it from one of the masters of the game, which is Marty. Because Marty was hands-on. He wasn't like, okay, well, here's my running backs coach.
Right.
Go do what you got to do. Marty was hands-on with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was really cool. So, we appreciate him coming on. And I'm glad he's got a book coming out. That's cool.
Yep.
He'd be the second chief that I never expected to write a book that wrote a book. We got Tim Grunhard up here. Now Christian's going to have to send me a copy because I'm going to have his book.
Yep. We'll have to advertise for that. Get it out there.
Yeah. So. And you've seen what I've been saying all this time about not liking Carl Peterson. It wasn't just because of one thing. It was because of a multitude of things.
Yeah.
And you've seen him. He held back a little bit. But they didn't. Yep. Most players didn't talk to that man when they played for him. They just didn't. They didn't like him. Mm-hmm. Very few people liked him, so Tim did. Tim liked him. A couple other offensive linemen, liked him. I don't know too many other guys that did.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. It is what it is. But
that's right.
Anyway, yeah. So
it
was nice to have him on, and I'm sure he'll come on again.
We'll have to have him on soon. So yeah, we definitely appreciate him coming on, and everyone go make sure to check out his new book. Get that on pre-order.
Yep, it's going to be on the website. I'm going to have it up there by tomorrow, so you guys will be able to check it out. And if it's on pre-order on Amazon now, grab it while you got the chance. Because I'm sure it'll sell out pretty quick. His name's synonymous with football, so anybody wants to hear it from anybody, it's going to be from him. That's especially right. In the days that you got pounded. It wasn't like it is now. So. Well, with that being said, I don't know. You got anything else?
That's all for me.
Well, everybody out there that listens and does listen to this show, this was kind of impromptu and we threw it together fairly quickly. But anybody that listens to it, make sure you check out everything that's going on Instagram right now. We're going to have some more players on soon, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow night.
Yep.
Peace out, everybody.
Go Chiefs.